Stop.
Okie dokie.
Good super Sunday afternoon, YouTuberinos. I hope all y'all are doing well today. I have the wonderful Haley and the wonderful Chris here, and in this, of course, welcome back to another edition of the Thomas and Haley Show. Yep, and in this video, we are going to talk about a very important topic, and that is bullying.
How to prevent bullying.
And also we're going to talk about if you know that someone's being bullied, what you should do.
Yep, exactly. How to take action, as some people would say.
All right, so you can start it off.
Well, I think all of us human beings do know that bullying is not okay. It doesn't matter what the circumstances is or what the reasoning is behind it, whether if it's you being the one that's being bullied or you being the bully. And in my opinion, I think bullying should be classified as a crime because so far since it hasn't been, people just keep doing it, and the fact that the parents, they go, "Oh, it's just kids being kids," or "Oh, no, like my child's a good child." No, that's no. I've heard that too many times. So there should be more strict measures that should be put in place for bullies, and whether if it's in person, like in schools, daycares, or even cyberbullying online.
Yep. And to my opinion, I think bullying should be considered a hate crime. I don't know why it's not.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it happens every single day, which is the unfortunate thing, but I'm pretty sure it does.
And nowadays, it's even worse with technology, with
social media.
Yep.
I remember Angie telling me she felt like she was being bullied at GMS because of how the teachers were treating her.
Yeah.
Yes, she did mention that.
It's because due to the fact of her, besides her being visually impaired, she was also had the balance issue because of the car accident she was in a long time ago.
Yeah.
And anytime she would try to walk on her own, she would walk at a regular slow pace where she wouldn't hurt herself, but she would be a good amount of good feet ahead of the house parents, and then say, "Angie, stop," or "slow down." I'm like, can you just allow her to walk to the dining hall? Because that's literally all we were doing was just going to the dining hall for breakfast. So it's
now, if I was a house parent there, or if I was a house parent there, or a dorm advisor, whatever the fuck they call them,
that's different everywhere. Yeah.
Whatever. If I was a house parent there, and if I saw her having trouble walking, I would ask her, "Hey, Angie, do you need help?
Do you need assistance?" Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So,
anyways.
Yeah.
And if you see or hear someone being bullied, talk to someone about it.
Talk to the right authorities, either your parents or their parents. If it happens in school, the teacher. If they don't do anything, maybe the principal, perhaps.
Don't just let it happen. Absolutely not.
No, you got to step up.
Unless if you're honestly too scared because you think if you do speak up about it, the bully might do something to you, then that's understandable. But sometimes you need to put your brave face on and stand up to the bullies, whether if it's towards you or just somebody else, and say, "Hey, that's not okay."
Yeah. Yep.
Because the problem not gonna get solved if people don't say nothing at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And of course, when it comes to social media, if someone writes a post about somebody, directly, or whether if it's not exactly direct, but someone's able to read between the lines, that's also considered as bullying also, because you're basically talking about somebody.
And if it's on Facebook, make sure you report the person's account.
Yeah. Or any form of social media, if they have a section where it says, report post or report tweet or whatever it is.
Because some people, unfortunately, some people think bullying is a big joke, unfortunately, and it's not. It's not a joke at all.
Because unfortunately, sometimes depends on how severe it is. Sometimes it does lead to self-harm.
Yeah.
Or even worse.
So if you see it happening,
that's what self-harm is.
So if you see it happening, or if you know what's happening, or if you hear it happening, do something about it right away.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because unfortunately, the highest rate of suicide is among teens.
Now, have you ever been?
You know that?
Have you ever been?
Yeah, it's actually between I think the preteens up to the age of 21, I believe, or 24. I
Have you
believe.
ever been?
I would look that up.
Have you ever been bullied, Chris, or no?
No, I've never experienced it myself. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank God for that. What about you, Haley?
Not necessarily bully per se, but I would say for people who do try to do name calling or anything like that, I was able to either walk away from the situation or talk to the right people. So I didn't feel like I was bullied in my case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even when I went to, I'm not going to say the name of the school, but even when I went to elementary school, when I was a kid, I wasn't bullied. The kids were actually very, very, very helpful. They always gave me sighted guide, and they were always very nice to me. So I'm very, very, very fortunate in that regard. That
Oh yeah.
that
A lot of young-
there was not one kid in my elementary school who bullied me. Not one. All the kids were nice to me when I went to elementary school.
That's good.
Fortunately, a lot of young kids are resilient today, and they can bounce back much easier than in the past.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what the teachers did was they would let each kid every week they would have a kid do sighted guides. So one week maybe Chris. I'm just using you as an example. One week maybe you. 1 week Chris did it, and then the next week Caroline did. Every week it would be a different kid giving me sighted guide. So that's the way the teachers did it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that way they can learn the experience of having a blind friend that they're.
Right, so they have a better understanding of okay, this is what we would do to help them. That is if they would ever ask, or this is how they do things.
But all the kids were nice to me when I went to elementary school.
Now, I will say that back to the blind school that I went to, I could not tell you how many times when it came to this little program called Team Summit, where it was on the second Tuesday of every month. I cannot tell you how many times we talked about the same topics over and over again, and that's because the students would, just keep doing what they're not supposed to do. So that's the reason why it kept being spoken about, including bullying. Bullying was also one of the topics.
Oh wow!
And like I said, it didn't happen to me, but unfortunately, it happened to other people. And there was a couple times where a few people would ask me, so and so was doing this, what do I do, or what should I do? Those kind of things. And there's been a few times I would say things, and they would take it, and then they would thank me later for it. So. Yeah, and that was a good feeling. So,
and honestly, Robert, because getting back to Angie for a second, the day I met her, she went in, she told me her story, and she told me how the teachers were to her. I honestly felt really bad for her after she told me what the teachers did to her.
Yeah, they were completely wrong.
The people that are supposed to be your protector, the authority figures, if they're doing it, how do they expect the kids not to learn how to do it?
I did. I honestly felt bad after she told me how the teachers treated her.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because it wasn't fair to her.
No, not at all.
So, anyway, that's that. That's all I got.
But the thing that Thomas and I and Chris want all of you people in the world to remember to have not just respect for others and to prevent bullying on others, but prevent bullying, to be, put on yourself, and respect yourself more. Because if you don't, that's going to give someone a reason to, pick on or bully you, or any other term that could be described with the same, reasoning.
Right.
Yeah, because if you don't love yourself, how you expect somebody else to love you?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to speak up about it if you need help with something. No matter, this is involving anything. Speak up if you see someone else, getting hurt. Speak up. If it's happening to you or happening to someone else who you care about, or even if you don't know them that well, but you're a witness to it. Oh, I see this happening. Say
Right.
something, because you want to make the world a better place.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
So, do you got some final words, Boo?
I'm gonna take it like this. There's an old saying that people need to remember: what's done in the dark will eventually come out in the light.
I think I've heard of that statement before.
Meaning, if you do negative stuff to people, it will come back on you.
Oh yeah, or the whole what comes around, or
What time goes around.
yeah, that phrase.
Yep.
As always, please don't forget to subscribe to Doing Everything Blind so you can catch every episode of The Thomas and Haley Show. And if you have questions or comments or suggestions, you can either leave them in the comment section of the episode, which we'll both look at.
Yep.
And Chris, as always, I love you. And thank you. I'm going to be a sucker for like 2 seconds. Thank you for being here as usual.
Yep.
And to remember, I want all of you to remember that everyone has a talent, and type of skill's a talent. Because it's true.
Yep. Alrighty
And
then.
y'all take care. We'll see y'all
Y'all
next one.
take care.